Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the video. My name is Bob Jablonsky. My firm is Bob Jablonsky and Associates, and we work with taxpayers with tax issues, including tax preparation and planning for both businesses and individuals. And we help taxpayers. Our specialty is helping taxpayers who have IRS problems. We're located in Richardson, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, but we help taxpayers throughout the nation with IRS issues. This is the third in a series of videos that's on canceled debt forgiveness. And today we're going to cover the insolvency exclusion. So just an overview of everything. The canceled debt in general, if you had a loan, if somebody lent you money or a business lent you money, such as a bank or a mortgage company, and that debt was forgiven, it becomes income to you, the borrower, for the full amount. The lender is typically going to send you a Form 1099-C, and you're going to report it on your Form 1040 under other income. There are some situations where that's not completely true. One of them is an excludable amount from taxable gross income. In that case, you're going to actually report it on your tax return, and then you're going to get an exclusion that's going to be calculated on Form 982. And then there are exceptions that we covered last week in which it is just not considered to be income. There's something about the type of item, and we went over some of them are educational type loans where special circumstances occur with it, and so on. You know, maybe it was turned into a gift, or it became part of an inheritance, or so on. So there are certain exceptions. Today we're going to cover. We are going to cover the insolvency exclusion, one way that you can exclude amounts from your taxable gross income. So what is insolvency related to this and the IRS, and what amount is excluded? So a taxpayer is considered to be insolvent if the total assets that they own are less than the total liabilities of that taxpayer at the time the debt was excluded. So your assets, you're going to look at all your assets, your cash, your home, your vehicles, your investment accounts, your retirement accounts. And then you're going to add those up, and those will be your total assets. And then you'll have your total liabilities, your home loans, your installment loans, your credit card loans, your auto loans, any amounts you owe to other third parties. You're going to add up those liabilities. And if the total assets is greater than the total liabilities, you're not insolvent. You have equity. If your liabilities are greater than your assets, then you're insolvent to the extent of how much they are greater. And so what amount would be excluded on Form 982? It would be either the amount of the debt forgiveness or the amount of the insolvency, the lesser of. So, if I have $100,000, I have debt that was forgiven, and my insolvency is $80,000, I can only exclude up to $80,000. If it was $120,000, I can exclude the full $100,000. We'll go over two examples of that in a moment. And as I noted here, the insolvency is calculated on the date of forgiveness. So if you're preparing your return 3 years later, that's not the date where you're looking at your equity or whether you are or are not insolvent. It goes back to the date when it was forgiven. So here's two examples. Example one, the debt forgiven is $25,000 and the liabilities exceeded assets, that's the insolvency calculation, by $50,000 on the date of the debt forgiveness. In this case, because the debt forgiven, the 1099-C is going to be less than the amount of insolvency, the full amount can be excluded and put onto Form 982. Now, if we change it around a little bit on example two, where they're still insolvent by $50,000, but the debt is forgiven is $75,000. In this case, because it's the lesser of the two, only $50,000, the amount that they are insolvent, can be excluded. They're still going to have $25,000 in income, but they are going to have a benefit from that insolvency. I hope this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, you need some help, or if you have any questions related to any other IRS issues, please give me a call. My name is Bob Jablonsky. My phone number is 972-821-1991. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.